When we talk about state government, we're referring to the governing authority of a specific state within a country, such as one of the 50 states in the United States. State governments play a crucial role in the daily lives of citizens, handling responsibilities that are distinct from those of the federal government. They manage a wide range of services, from education and transportation to public safety and health. Understanding what a state government does helps us appreciate how our communities function and why local leadership matters. In this video, we'll break down the main roles and functions of state governments, exploring how they impact everything from schools to roads. One of the first things to understand is the difference between state and federal governments. While the federal government oversees national issues like defense and foreign policy, state governments focus on matters within their own borders. This division of power is known as federalism. State governments have their own constitutions, laws, and elected officials, allowing them to address the unique needs of their populations. This means that laws and policies can vary significantly from one state to another, reflecting local values and priorities. By working alongside the federal government, states help ensure that governance is responsive and effective at every level. State governments are typically structured similarly to the federal government, with three main branches: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. The executive branch is headed by the governor, who acts much like a president but at the state level. The legislative branch, often called the state legislature, is responsible for making state laws. Finally, the judicial branch interprets those laws and ensures justice is served. This separation of powers helps prevent any one branch from becoming too powerful and ensures a system of checks and balances within the state. The governor is the chief executive officer of a state, responsible for implementing state laws and overseeing the operation of the state executive branch. Governors have the power to sign bills into law, veto legislation, and appoint officials to key positions. They also play a vital role in managing emergencies, such as natural disasters or public health crises. Through leadership and decision-making, governors help set the tone for state policy and ensure that government services run smoothly for all residents. State legislatures are the lawmaking bodies of each state. They are usually divided into two chambers, a Senate and a House of Representatives or Assembly. Legislators are elected by the people and are responsible for proposing, debating, and passing laws that affect the state. They also approve the state budget and oversee how public funds are spent. By representing the interests of their constituents, state legislators ensure that the voices of local communities are heard in the policy-making process. The judicial branch of state government interprets state laws and administers justice. State courts handle a wide range of cases, from criminal trials to civil disputes. The highest court in a state is usually called the Supreme Court, which reviews decisions from lower courts and ensures that laws are applied fairly. Judges may be appointed or elected, depending on the state. The judicial branch plays a critical role in protecting individual rights and upholding the rule of law within the state. Each state has its own constitution, which outlines the structure and powers of the state government. State constitutions are often more detailed than the federal constitution and can be amended by voters or the legislature. These documents establish the rights of citizens, define the roles of government officials, and set the rules for how laws are made and enforced. Understanding your state's constitution can help you know your rights and how your government operates. The process of making state laws begins with an idea, which can come from anyone, citizens, lawmakers, or interest groups. A legislator introduces a bill, which is then debated and voted on by both chambers of the legislature. If the bill passes, it goes to the governor for approval. If signed, it becomes law. This process ensures that new laws are carefully considered and reflect the needs and values of the state's residents. One of the most important roles of state government is managing the state budget. This involves collecting revenue, mainly through taxes, and deciding how to spend it on public services like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. The legislature approves the budget, and the governor oversees its implementation. Careful budgeting ensures that resources are used efficiently and that essential services are funded for everyone in the state. State governments play a major role in overseeing public education. They set standards for schools, provide funding, and ensure that students receive a quality education. State education departments work with local school districts to develop curricula, train teachers, and measure student performance. By investing in education, state governments help prepare the next generation for success. Ensuring public safety is a key responsibility of state governments. This includes overseeing state police, highway patrol, and emergency services. States set laws related to crime, traffic, and public order, and they operate prisons and correctional facilities. By maintaining law and order, state governments help create safe communities where people can live and work without fear. State governments are deeply involved in healthcare and public health. They manage programs like Medicaid, regulate hospitals and clinics, and respond to health emergencies. State health departments work to prevent disease, promote healthy lifestyles, and ensure access to medical care. By focusing on public health, states help protect the well-being of all residents. Building and maintaining roads, bridges, and public transportation systems are essential state government functions. States plan and fund transportation projects, set safety standards, and ensure that infrastructure meets the needs of growing populations. Reliable transportation helps connect communities, supports economic growth, and improves quality of life. State governments are responsible for protecting the environment within their borders. They enforce laws related to air and water quality, manage state parks, and oversee conservation efforts. By regulating pollution and promoting sustainability, states help ensure a healthy environment for current and future generations. State governments regulate businesses to ensure fair practices and protect consumers. They issue licenses, enforce labor laws, and oversee industries like insurance and banking. By setting rules for businesses, states help create a stable economy and protect the interests of workers and customers alike. To fund their operations, state governments collect various taxes, such as income, sales, and property taxes. These funds are used to pay for public services and infrastructure. States also receive money from the federal government and other sources. Effective tax policies help ensure that the state can meet its obligations and invest in the future. State governments are in charge of organizing elections for local, state, and federal offices. They set rules for voter registration, manage polling places, and ensure that elections are fair and accessible. By overseeing the electoral process, states help uphold democracy and give citizens a voice in government. State governments oversee and support local governments, such as counties, cities, and towns. They set guidelines for how local governments operate and provide funding for local services. By working together, state and local governments can better address the needs of their communities and coordinate on important issues. State governments administer a variety of public welfare programs to support residents in need. These include assistance with food, housing, healthcare, and employment. By managing these programs, states help ensure that vulnerable populations receive the support they need to thrive. State governments are responsible for preparing for and responding to emergencies such as natural disasters, public health crises, or security threats. They coordinate with local and federal agencies to provide resources, issue warnings, and manage evacuations. Effective emergency management saves lives and helps communities recover more quickly. State governments operate through a variety of agencies and departments, each focused on specific areas like transportation, health, or education. These agencies carry out the day-to-day work of government, implementing policies and delivering services to the public. By organizing government functions into specialized departments, states can operate more efficiently and effectively. State courts handle the majority of legal cases in the country, including family law, property disputes, and criminal trials. Judges and juries work to ensure that justice is served fairly and impartially. The court system is structured to provide multiple levels of review so that decisions can be appealed and errors corrected. In addition to local police, states have their own law enforcement agencies, such as state police or highway patrol. These agencies enforce state laws, investigate crimes, and assist local authorities when needed. By providing specialized support, state law enforcement helps keep communities safe and secure. State governments are responsible for licensing professionals and businesses, from doctors and teachers to restaurants and contractors. They set standards to ensure safety and quality, and they enforce regulations to protect the public. Licensing helps maintain trust and accountability in important industries. State governments play a vital role in protecting the civil rights of their residents. They enforce anti-discrimination laws, ensure equal access to public services, and safeguard freedoms like speech and assembly. By upholding civil rights, states help create fair and inclusive communities for everyone. States manage natural resources like water, forests, and minerals within their borders. They issue permits for resource use, regulate industries like mining and logging, and promote conservation. Responsible management ensures that resources are available for future generations and that the environment is protected. State governments work to promote economic growth by supporting businesses, attracting investment, and creating jobs. They offer incentives for new industries, invest in workforce training, and develop infrastructure to support commerce. By fostering a strong economy, states help improve the quality of life for their residents. State governments regulate public utilities like electricity, water, and telecommunications. They set rates, ensure reliable service, and protect consumers from unfair practices. By overseeing these essential services, states help ensure that everyone has access to the resources they need for daily life. Many states manage parks, forests, and recreational areas for public enjoyment. These spaces provide opportunities for outdoor activities, preserve natural beauty, and support tourism. By investing in parks and recreation, State governments help promote healthy lifestyles and protect valuable natural resources. State governments employ thousands of workers in a variety of roles, from teachers and police officers to engineers and social workers. These employees deliver essential services and help keep the state running smoothly. By supporting a skilled workforce, states can better serve their residents and respond to changing needs. States have their own symbols, such as flags, seals, and mottos, which reflect their unique history and culture. These symbols help foster a sense of identity and pride among residents. State governments are responsible for adopting and preserving these symbols, which are often used in official documents and ceremonies. States often work together to address issues that cross borders, such as transportation, environmental protection, and public health. They form agreements and partnerships to share resources and coordinate policies. Interstate cooperation helps states solve problems more effectively and benefit from shared expertise. Modern state governments use technology to improve services, increase transparency, and connect with citizens. They offer online portals for services like renewing licenses, paying taxes, or accessing public records. By embracing digital tools, states can operate more efficiently and make government more accessible to everyone. State governments communicate with the public through press releases, social media, and public meetings. They provide information about policies, emergencies, and services. Effective communication helps build trust and ensures that residents are informed and engaged in government decisions. Transparency is essential for good governance. State governments are required to keep records, hold open meetings, and provide access to public information. Transparency laws help prevent corruption and allow citizens to hold officials accountable for their actions. State governments encourage citizen participation through public hearings, advisory boards, and opportunities to comment on proposed laws. By involving residents in decision-making, states can create policies that better reflect the needs and values of their communities. Just like the federal government, state governments use a system of checks and balances to prevent any one branch from becoming too powerful. Each branch has specific powers and can limit the actions of the others. This system helps protect democracy and ensures that government remains accountable to the people. State governments face many challenges, such as balancing budgets, responding to emergencies, and addressing social issues. They must adapt to changing circumstances and find solutions that work for their residents. By working together and listening to the public, state governments can overcome obstacles and continue to serve their communities. Many states are leading the way in innovation, experimenting with new policies and technologies to improve services. From renewable energy projects to digital government initiatives, states are finding creative solutions to modern problems. Innovation helps states stay competitive and better meet the needs of their residents. State governments work closely with the federal government on many issues, such as healthcare, education, and transportation. They receive funding, follow federal guidelines, and sometimes challenge federal policies in court. This relationship is dynamic and helps ensure that both levels of government serve the public effectively. State governments are often involved in legal disputes, either defending state laws or challenging federal actions. State attorneys general represent the state in court and work to protect the interests of residents. The outcome of these cases can shape state policy and set important legal precedents. States are home to diverse populations with different backgrounds, cultures, and needs. State governments work to ensure that all residents are represented and have access to services. By embracing diversity, states can create more inclusive and vibrant communities. State governments invest in programs for children and youth, such as education, health, and recreation. By supporting young people, states help build a brighter future and ensure that the next generation has the tools they need to succeed. State governments provide services and support for seniors, including healthcare, housing, and transportation. By addressing the needs of older adults, states help ensure that everyone can age with dignity and independence. State governments play a vital role in shaping our daily lives, from the schools our children attend to the roads we drive on and the laws that protect us. By understanding the many functions of state government, we can better appreciate the importance of local leadership and the impact it has on our communities. Whether it's through education, public safety, or economic development, state governments are essential to building strong, healthy, and vibrant societies.